Hey y'all, what's good? What's happening? We are starting off 2025 with our very first convention of this year, Animeverse. We are no stranger to this particular convention. We've gone, I think, the past couple years. We even went to the ones that they have in the fall and the ones that they have during the summer. But the ones that they have early on in the year, usually in February, is their biggest one. So, being that we were fans of the convention, of course, we couldn't pass it up because we love it. So, Donald, how'd you like the convention so far?
Well, each time we go to this particular convention, I see huge improvements, especially the utilization of the space and taking note of the voice actors that have the tendency of having long lines. They had it even out, so it was perfect for me.
Yes, it definitely was an improvement from last year, as opposed to like having all the ones that's gonna have a lot of people kind of just cramped up like that, especially like Chris Sabbath's line. That mug will be long for hours, you know. But I felt like, or we felt like it was, very much so spaced out. As far as the vendor area, I thought that was pretty adequate space, and they had like different ones. So I thought that was pretty cool that they had a variety of things. Um, I hate to say this, but one of my favorite renditions that they had was the retro gaming area. We'll tag the guys that's over that particular thing. So when we went over there, they had like a lot of CRT TVs, or CRT TVs, like one of those big, huge gray TVs that you plug in like the red, yellow, and white wires in it, and they had I think an N64, a Sega Dreamcast, the first Xbox, a PlayStation, and maybe a PlayStation 2. I don't remember.
They had everything.
Yeah, like a lot of the game systems that we had growing up, they had that, and I greatly appreciate that they had a lot of, or I guess you could say, a variety of different games like Power Stone 2. They even had Power Stone, Sonic Adventure 2, like Mario Kart for Super NES. They even had Crash Team Racing. I was like, what? They even got CTR? Was pretty dope. Let's see. What about the people that we met?
Well,
Before you start, I have to say one of my favorites was the guy that did Beast Boy. I thought he was absolutely hilarious. Shout out to Gregory Sipes. Shout out to him. Really dope guy. If you ever see him at another convention, make sure you pass by him. What about you, O'Donnell?
well, I'm happy we was finally able to meet Johnny Young Bosch. I always wanted to meet him for a long time. Past conventions we went to, his lines would be super long as heck, and I'm just like, nah. So I'm glad we went there early enough to catch his line, but his line filled up like real quick.
Yeah, matter of fact, you left out that door pretty fast. Also, shout out to, I have to say this, shout out to Alexis and Zeno. Both of them are really good friends with one of my best friends growing up in grade school. His name is Will Farrell. I will tag him in this post. But yeah, like, I did. It was a picture that him and Zeno were in long time ago, and I just happened to screenshot it. I went by Zeno. I was like, "Bruh, how you know my best friend? Like, what's up with that?" Now, of course, in a jokingly manner. He was like, "Oh, Will? Yeah, I know Will." I said, "Really? Okay." And then I'm texting him. I was like, "Hey, I met some of your people up here." He was like, "Oh yeah, they good people, real good people." Next thing you know, we all cool. So it was honestly a really, really, truly dope experience. We're gonna tag both of them as well. Shout out to both of them. We hope we'll make it to LA one day. Hopefully sometime this year or next. And, perhaps, we could do a little something. Lunch or dinner be on us, just saying. What about you, O'Donnell?
Well, next person, AJ Beckles. I always wanted to meet him. I remember there was one convention that he had, canceled on. He had no control over that, but I was able to finally meet AJ. So shout out to AJ. I love you. Thank you for repping us. Thank you so much. And Zeno too. Thank y'all both for repping us. And let's see. Oh, George Newburn. We had met him at WeebCon a long time ago.
Yeah, he was pretty dope.
And we made a promise to hit him up again. And we did, and that was really nice. And we met, Colleen, not the Luffy one. I'm talking about the one Colleen who voiced Tails. Tails off of Sonic. That was really nice, and she loved the Tails hoodie that my brother was wearing.
Not to mention Dante Bosco. That I actually caught Dante Bosco off guard because periodically I've been trying to learn the language that a lot of my Filipino friends speak. I can't say the word. I think it's Tagalog or something. Either way, we went up there. Of course, I had said something to make him laugh hysterically because he had a certain picture that I was looking for, but he didn't have it. It's all good. But then when I started speaking to him in his language, he was like, "What? You know that?" I was like, "Yeah. What's up on it?" But no, it's all good, man. It's like I said in previous posts. It's always nice to go to these conventions, not just being a fan, but establishing some type of rapport or relationship with a lot of these people that you meet, because you just never know if you have like some type of profound effect on them that they actually will remember you the next time you see them. So it's pretty dope, man. What about you, O'Donnell?
Oh, another person I always wanted to meet, Troy. Now, a while back, he was at WeebCon, and his line was abysmally long. I was like, nah, hopefully we'll get another opportunity. As soon as freaking Animeverse brought up Troy is coming, I said, yes, we gonna gun for him. So FYI, for the OG folk, if y'all know Trinity Blood, he voices Abel Nitro, the guy with the glasses, long silver hair. Just a FYI. And if you're a fan of the Tales of series, he voiced Yuri off of there as well. Just saying.
I ain't never looked at that stuff, but hey, it's all good. And of course, what I also enjoy is seeing some of my friends. Like I said, it just so happened, Man Much Cosplay, Brando, that's one of our bros. Of course, Fusion High Podcast. Y'all know that's family right there. Like I said, the Colson twins, it was nice meeting them. Lowly Beth. One of my co-workers, believe it or not, he showed up and I was like, we got to take a picture, so it was pretty dope. All in all, I would have to say, like, comparing to last year, I thought that them expanding the space was a really good idea. Very good. Shout out to them for actually doing that, because it didn't feel like it didn't feel like I was cramped walking around the venue space,
And you know what I like about Animeverse organizers? They actually listen to the feedback and read it.
Yeah, most of them people that be over them cons, a lot of them just don't, I guess, take the criticism. Now, granted, some of that criticism that we be seeing on Facebook and Instagram be kind of silly. I just be like, bro, like, really, that's completely out of their hand. But the fact that they actually read all that stuff, really think about it, and try to improve, I think that's a really, really good idea. That shows that they really are trying to expand their brand, and that keeps people coming back, So that's a good idea. Now, volunteers, of course, that's a common thing. So, it kind of like, it is what it is. I still think what Ardonna said before was, having some type of process to make sure that the people that they pick to represent them properly is okay.
And make sure that your volunteers don't have a past history of harassing folk and stuff. Because do keep in mind, there's a whole anime community out there, and they do pay attention to who attends these conventions. So please pay attention to who you invite as a volunteer, because that volunteer may have some past history of stuff and it would make your convention look horrible.
Nah, you don't want no misrepresentation. That's very terrible. You definitely don't want that, bro. That can easily go downhill. Let's see. We touched on space. Now, I will say one more thing. I thought it was a good idea that they did extend the space to allow people to go to like the concession stands and get food. That was a good idea for sure. But I want to stress that, you know, if you're in Houston, being that we're in one of the most diverse cities in the United States, especially when it comes to food, I highly suggest to see what's local. If not, you know, just check out our page. We've been to many different restaurants out here in Houston, Houston, like many different. We've been doing this since 2020 of July. So, you know, not to buck my own self, but I know what's good, man. Just saying. What you think?
I mean, just for the record, if you want to know how many food places we went to almost like 280 something food places.
Nah, isn't that crazy? 280 something, bro. And I don't mean like the same stuff. Like, we talking about different cuisines. But, like I said, I thought it was a good idea that they extended that to where if somebody didn't really want to go outside, they can get food there. It was a great idea. We'll say nobody's perfect. There's always room for improvement. But as far as I'm concerned, Animeverse, they get an A. They get an A in my book. What you think?
A++.
She said A++, and she a lot more strict than me. Just saying. But you know what though? As long as they keep having this in Houston, and I know that they are extending it to other cities. I did see Louisiana. I know they did one in Tennessee. I want to say they did one, or they trying to do one in like Pennsylvania, by way of Pittsburgh. So if you happen to be there, check them out. With that being said, we're going to holler at y'all later. The Green Kids Adventures sign off. Y'all have a very, very, very blessed day. Peace, and we out.